Hello everyone and welcome to my stamp studio. Today is Wednesday, February 5th and ooh, we are halfway through the week. Woohoo, the weekend is coming. I hope you're all excited about that. Let me know what you're grabbing for your lunch today and we are going to get started in just a moment. Just need to find my feed here and make sure that I am live. Oops. And there we go. Turn out the volume. So, super excited to be here today for lunch hour. I do actually have my lunch already made. It's actually warming in my microwave right now, but I'm having homemade tamales from a local Mexican restaurant, and oh my gosh, they are delicious. I can't wait to get down there and eat my lunch. As much as I love stamping with you, I'm really hungry today. So we're going to jump in. We're going to get started. I am going to have the list for all the supplies I'm using today in today's Hump Day lunch break listed in the comments of the Facebook video and listed in the description of the YouTube video. If you're watching YouTube, please make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my other Hump Day lunch breaks or virtual classes. And if you're on Facebook, make sure that you're following my Stamp Studio Facebook page. And if you'd like, join the My Stamp Studio VIP group. I share other content in there, just kind of some extras. And also, you're able to post pictures of projects that you've been doing, all sorts of stuff when you're in the VIP group. We do have people that are actively participating and sharing things that they've made. So I'd love to have you there. It's just a place where you can join a community with other fellow crafters and just share some of the things that you've been doing. All right, so let's get started. Today we are going to actually feature one of our celebration items. Now, if you don't know what celebration is a time of year where Stampin' Up! Gives us free things. So when you place an order in my Stampin' Up! Store, you can get some of these items for free. So this is right here, just a few of them. I'm going to kind of jump through really quick to the page where this is right here. So we're going to be using our Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper. It's really cute, really fun to make some really fun, bright cards with. Today, we're really going to focus really on the paper. And I'm going to share with you what you can do with a 6x6 piece of Designer Series paper. We're going to make 3 cards from one piece of the Designer Series paper. You will have to have cardstock. You know, that's part of a given to make your cards, but I'm going to show you how you can cut your 6x6 paper and make those cards. So hello, Becky. Thank you for joining us. I'm also going to be using our terrific Toadstool stamp set. There is a coordinating punch with it, but we're not going to use it today. We're just going to use our stamp set. This is my featured item for our February Studio Card Club. I do have information. I did a little sneak peek video on it. So if you're on YouTube, hop over there and you can check it out. But for my monthly Studio Card Club, it is a subscription-based card club. Every month, I pick a stamp set or bundle. I design 4 cards, and then you get to make 2 of each of those cards for a total of 8. With your envelopes, I supply you with all the consumable products. So consumable products are your paper, your ribbon, your embellishment, all that kind of stuff. I do all the die cutting and everything for you. And yeah, you just need your stamps, ink, and adhesive. So let's go on to the stamps that we're going to be using today. We're going to be using Fresh Freesia, Great Granite, Granny Apple Green. So these are our 3 stamp pads for today. I'm also going to pull in my Brights markers, and I'm going to be using Melon Mambo and Pumpkin Pie. I have a little ribbon that we'll be using, and this is our Pretty in Pink bordered ribbon. All of this is available in my online store, and these supplies will, again, be listed in the comments of the Facebook video and description of the YouTube video. Hop over and purchase that. And then we're going to be using our Sunny Days embellishments here. All right. So let's get started. I'm going to pull in this paper here. I'm going to show you some of the different patterns that are there so you can check it out. Really cute, fun little patterns. It's double-sided, so you get your choices of different things. You can use this same exact layout that we're going to do with any of the pieces of paper or any Designer Series paper that you have, for that matter. Just need to pick out your paper, your coordinating cardstock, and, okay, that's not going to go back in. Coordinating cardstock and ink. All right. I am going to actually use this one because that's what I did in my samples. And I'm going to show you how to do everything right now. So you will need a trimmer. So I've got my trimmer right here. And just as a tip, if you have a 12 by 12 designer series piece of paper that you're cutting, this edge right here, all the way to this edge, that is 6 inches. Easy peasy. Just slide your paper in and trim it. All right. So for this one, we are going to cut at 3 3/4, just like that. So zoop. So we have a piece right there. We're going to put this piece aside. Then I have a piece that's 2 1/4 by 6. We're going to cut this one down right here to be 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Shoot. All right. So that's all the cutting that we're doing on our paper. So see, and it doesn't matter what side you do it from. It really does not matter. So just go ahead and cut your paper. All right. Next, let's get our cardstock. Now, I just was moving everything out of the way so I would have space to do things. Here we go. All right, so our first card here is going to be using our Melon Mambo cardstock. This is 8.5 by 5.5. You can score it at 4 1/4 or just fold it right in half. So I like to use my bone folder to give myself a nice crease there. So let's grab that in. Zoop, zoop. All right, I have a piece of Granny Apple Green. This measures 4 by 5 1/4. That's going to be one of our layers. And I do have a piece of basic white that I've run through my die cut machine using the Nested Essential Dies. And let me pull those in really quick so you can check out those dies. And where did I put them? I just had them here. Okay, well, I guess I won't show you because I don't know what I just did with them. I had them here somewhere. Okay, don't know what I did with them, so can't show you. They're a fun set, though. All right, we're going to grab this piece. I'm going to move these two pieces off. We're going to take this piece right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and rip it. All right? Yep, just rip it. Okay? I'm going to take my Granny Apple Green layer right here, and I'm going to adhere both of these pieces to my Granny Apple Green. So let's go with this right here. Joop, joop, and doop. Yep, you can make all the sounds that you want when you are cutting and adhering your paper on. All right, so there's one piece, and there's my second piece. Joop, joop. And I am just going to overlap. Now, you can overlap with this one being on top or the other one being on top. It does not matter. All right, so we'll go ahead and put that on just like that. We're going to take a piece of our Pretty in Pink ribbon, and we're just going to tie that right around the front here. I'm going to actually show you how to make the whole card. Don't worry. So again, you can use this with any of your designer series paper, any of your stamp sets. Okay, it doesn't have to necessarily be this one, but hey, if you like this one, go over to my online store and do a little bit of shopping. All right. Now, it's up to you if you want to show the torn edge or not. I'm going to show it a little bit. I'm going to move it down just slightly here. Oop, I can slide that. There we go. Let's get my scissors to trim my ribbon. Hello, Sherry. How are you today? Okay, so we have those two pieces. Now we have our Melon Mambo card base. Let's go ahead and grab some of our dimensionals, and we'll just slap those right on the back. Easy, quick cards, but they look really pretty. Maybe you're not a braids person. Maybe you're not a, a mushroom kind of gal or guy. Choose another piece of designer series paper. All right, so there we go. All right, now I have my little piece of basic white here, and I'm going to do some stamping on that. I'm going to go ahead and take my Melon Mambo stamp pad, which I forgot to grab. I thought I grabbed it. Well, please, while I grab that. Melon Mambo. Here we go. Oh, that's Poppy Parade. Don't want that one. I want Melon Mambo. And I grabbed the wrong marker, too. I want Melon Mambo. I'm trying to be consistent with the colors that are in my designer series paper. And if you don't know, on the back of your designer series paper, it tells you all the colors that are used. So that way, when you go to grab your cardstock, your ink, you know what colors. Stampin' Up's colors are like granimals. Everything matches. All right, so let's go ahead and open that. we're going to open our gray granite. And I'm also going to open my granny apple green. I know, kind of dangerous to have all three open at one time. Just pay attention to what you're doing. That's all. All right, I'm going to grab my scrap piece of paper here. Where is it? Right. Handy dandy little scrap. We'll just fold that in half. Okay. Now let's grab our stamp set. I'm going to grab a couple of blocks here. So you do need clear blocks when you're stamping. So you can use, it works for photopolymer or for the rubber. Okay. And we're going to grab our stem here. And I'm going to grab my mushroom cap here. And I need one more block for my sentiment. So the sentiment that I'm using says, just a little thank you. All right. So let's start with our gray granite. And I'm just going to stamp that right here. Just like so. If your gray granite is really inked like mine is, you could stamp it off and, you know, have a little bit lighter version. I just re-inked mine, so mine's pretty dark. I'm now going to take my little mushroom cap, and I'm going to stamp that in Mellow Mambo, and just add that right to the front. Boop. Oh, close that one up before you do that. Okay, well, you know, I already have a stain on my pants, so. And now we're going to take our sentiment. Oop, that's not my sentiment. This one is. And we'll grab Granny Apple Green. And boop. There we go. All right. So now I'm just going to bring this over. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to slide my bow down just a tad. And I'm going to go ahead and put this right on. I decided that change from my original card. And if you haven't ever seen me before in videos, you know that I frequently do this. Like I can't even follow my own directions. So I'm going to go ahead and just add some dimensionals. I really do like my first card that I made without the dimensionals, but hey, let's give ourselves a little extra something something. All right, so now I'm just going to center that right over there. Let's bring in our Sunny Day dots, and let's just sprinkle some of those on there. I'm going to grab my Take a Pick tool really quick here. And let's go with, you know, I'm going to grab some of the orange ones. I'm going to put one. Okay, I guess I'm putting one right there because that's where it wants to go. I'll put one up here. And let's see, one more. I'm going to add a couple more. So I'm going to get a pink one here and put that right there. Let's see, right here. No, we'll do it up here. I don't know. It's such a dilemma deciding where I want to put things. Okay, let's go ahead and grab a couple of the small ones. And I'll put one right there, and another little small one. We'll put it, maybe I'll put it somewhere over here. All right, there we go. Just randomly throwing those on, and that is our first card. Okay, I'm going to leave the Granny Apple Green open because we'll be using that pretty much for all the cards. Move this out of our way. And now let's get our second card here. All right, so on this card, we're going to use Granny Apple Green, 8.5 by 5.5, fold it in half, easy peasy. All you're doing is taking a sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and just cutting it in half. That's how you get your card base. All right, so now to make my card base a little more decorated, I'm going to pull in my Granny Apple Green ink, and I'm going to pull in this little leaf pattern here for my stamp set. And I'm going to just randomly start stamping my leaf all around my cardstock. And why am I doing it this way? You know, I just like to kind of start randomly putting this. Now, I'm going to do quite a few. Again, my ink pads were just all re-inked, so they're very vibrant. When I was stamping on Monday, I realized, oh, they're not very dark. Okay. All right, so I just randomly put that over there. I then have Now remember, I had 2 more pieces of my designer series paper. I'm going to grab this larger rectangle here, and I'm going to put this piece, which is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4, on a piece of Melon Mambo that measures 2 1/2 by 4. So I'm just going to simply layer it just like that. Doot, doot. I'm going to grab some of my ribbon again. Maybe if I don't lose all my stamps here. Oh, come on. Doot. All right, ribbon. And we're gonna tie a little bow around here. If you're not good at tying bows, tie a knot. Because sometimes, you know, sometimes we all get bow challenged. It depends really on how long my nails are. If I haven't had long nails for a while and I try to tie a bow, yeah, I'm bow challenged. But now that I've had my nails long for a couple weeks now, I can, as I'm saying it and having bow challenge issues, I can do it a little better. All right. We're going to make that. Probably could have made that a little bigger, but I did not. All right. And let's trim that down. Okay. Give it a haircut. Okay. So that is our front piece here. We're going to go ahead and just put our seal on. I'm not even popping this up because I'm going to do some other things that are popped up. All right, and I'm just going off to my left a little bit. Doesn't matter where. All right, so now let's take our stylish shaped circle. So I did cut these from our stylish shaped dies. That I do have handy, so I can show you what those dies look like. This is one of those die sets that are kind of a must-have. Like, if you do any sort of die cutting and want labels or anything, this is probably the one of my go-to ones that I use pretty much all the time. All right, so here's all the different shapes. So you get 15 different dies in that die set. Again, that's our stylish shapes. It's $30, and I will have the item code, a link to the item, again, in the description or the comments, so you'll be able to shop. Okay, we're going to take our little land piece here, a little dirt mound. I'm actually going to make it granny apple green. I don't want dirt, I want grass. Why? I don't know, because I do. All right. And I'm just going to make sure that I'm stamping off my paper just a little bit, just like so. We don't want our mushroom caps floating in space. Oh, I need that open. All right, let's go ahead and clean this one off so I can grab my next stamp here. Now, for me, because I'm a demonstrator, I do have a lot of clear blocks. So a lot of times you'll see in my videos that I just keep grabbing another block. It's okay if you don't have a lot of blocks. Go ahead and just clean it off. That's all you got to do. All right. So I've got my little 3 stem here. And I'm going to put one right here. And then this one, I'm going to take a little bit lower and put right here. All right. Now comes the fun. I'm going to go ahead and clean this. I'm going to clean a couple of things while I'm at it here, because that way I can easily just grab the blocks that I need. All right. So on this one here, we're going to be taking our little 3 cap mushrooms. Oopsie. This one right here. And I'm going to bring in my marker. And I'm going to move this out of the way so you can see it a little bit better. All right. So I'm going to color on this one. I'm going to color this top mushroom cap in my Melon Mambo. This is a great way to use your markers. So you can either color on your paper, you can color on your stamps. Now this will only work on the photopolymer and the red rubber. Your Stampin' Blends will not work because it's alcohol ink and it dries way too fast. You won't be able to get it to work. But this gives you a little bit of leeway time. So on here, I'm just going to huff on it now so that my hot air kind of moistens that back up. I'm going to look through my block and stamp that down just like that. How cute is that? Now I got multicolored mushroom caps. I'm going to do the same thing again. This time I'm going to put my lower mushroom caps in Melon Mambo. You could do it the same way. I like to just, you know, change things up here and there. And we'll do this one. Breathe on a little bit. Look through my block and stamp. All right, just like that. Okay. we are rocking and rolling here. All right, so now I need a little sentiment, and I'm going to grab the sentiment that says, "You are magical." So grab our Granny Apple Green again. Notice I'm not pulling in every single color in the world. I really try when I'm doing my classes and my videos, I'm only using like 3 or 4 stamp pads. There we go. And if you don't have some of the colors, substitute with something else. All right, so now we've got this and we've got this. We're going to pop everything up on dimensionals. And, I went through regular dimensionals. All right, so I'll bring in my original cards in just a moment so you can see those. Okay. All right, we're 15 minutes in. I try to keep these videos nice and short. Now, on my banner here, I'm only going to put a dimensional on my right-hand side. I'm going to pull in my liquid glue here and just put a little dab of glue right there. That will hold it in place. Peel off your backing, and voila. Okay, you are magical. So let's get a couple little embellishments on there. And I'll just use, I'm going to use the blue. I just want a little different color this time. Oh, come on. All right. Sticking to my finger. All right, we'll put one there. We'll put one over here. And I'm going to put another one right in here. All right. There we go. So my original card, I don't have the embellishments on, but now you can see what it looks like after re-inking my stamp and adding a couple little embellishments. There we go. Okay, let's get to our third card because we have one piece of designer series paper left, and I told you we're going to make 3 cards today. Record time, kind of. All right, so this one is going to be a little, well, I'm not going to say faster. It's going to be the same kind of thing. I have a strip of basic white. It's just a scrap. I'm going to stamp my sentiment on there, and then I'm going to fussy cut it out. I have a piece of fresh freesia, 8.5 by 5.5. We're just going to fold it right in half. I've got my bone folder here. Toot, toot. I have a piece of basic white. I die cut with the stylish shapes, the larger square. I have a piece of Granny Apple Green, which measures 2.5 by 2.5. And my designer series paper, which measured 2.25 by 2.25. All right, so that is going to be your layer. So why don't we go ahead? We're just going to put our layer together right now, so that we can just do our stamping. Doot, 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 doot. I'm going to go ahead and add my dimensionals, but I'm not going to peel off my backings yet. I just want to have it all ready. Now, this is a great card that you can make lots of because you have a lot of space here. Okay, I want this. I'm going to pull in my fresh freesia this time. And we're going to use some of the other stamps here. So I'm going to pull in, I'm going to see how this is going to work. Now, when I did this in my original one, I stamped them separate. But I think I might be able to get away with stamping them both at the same time. So let's just see here. All right. Okay, not bad. We're going to leave it like that with that little space. That's fine with me. If you want them stamped close together, like this one is, stamp them separately. We're just going to put them together. I mean, on the same block. At the same time. It just makes for a little faster stamping for me in the video. And notice I'm turning my paper. Sometimes it's hard to turn your, stamp at an angle. Just rotate your paper around. Probably the fastest way that I know to get that done. All right. So now that I've got those done, I'm going to bring back in another thing here. And again, you can use whatever stamps that you like from your stamp set. I'm going to use my little leaf again. And I'm just going to fill in a couple of these other areas, just to give my card a little something different. I'll stamp that in there. And we'll stamp that in there. Some of this will be, kind of covered up. Oops. that was not a good stamp. All right. Now what you can do when you've done that, you can look through your block and kind of just restamp it. All right. That is good enough for right now. You know what? Actually, I do want to add a little bit right up there. So I'm going to cover this up. I'm going to go ahead and put my designer square right on the front of the card. Now you can change your card whatever direction you'd like. I mean, you can put it this way. You can put it right in the middle. You can put it right on top, you know, wherever. I'm just going to plunk it right in the middle here because that's where I wanted it to go. Okay, now we're going to bring in our strip here. I'm going to bring in back in my Granny Apple Green. Let's get this block clean so I can stamp my sentiment. There we go. All right, let's get this stamped. Now, if you notice, I'm going all over my stamp pad, partially because when I re-inked it last night, it didn't quite, I didn't give enough time for it to spread evenly, so I want to make sure that my stamp is fully inked. All right, let's go ahead and take that. We'll grab our snips here. And I actually took the opportunity to clean up my scissors. They had some adhesive on it from, you know, all the things I've been cutting. So I just took some Goo Gone and I took a little, you know, what are those little white things called? Cotton ball. And just kind of wiped off that excess adhesive that had been on there. And now my scissors are like new. And you can get these scissors sharpened. That is one thing I actually do. I actually have a little sharpener here in my studio so that I can sharpen them, because the paper will dull your scissors after a while. That's why you'll notice that I tend to have a pair of scissors that have a piece of ribbon on it. Oh, I guess I don't have it on there. Oh, here I do. So I tend to tie a piece of ribbon on those scissors that I'm going to use with ribbon. So I even do that with my snips too. This one I know is my paper one, and my other one has a piece of ribbon on it, so I know that those are ribbon scissors. Because you want your ribbon scissors to be very sharp. Okay, so there's our sentiment. We just need to pop that up on with some dimensionals. So I'm going to take this little strip right here. So you can use every piece of your dimensional sheet. I like using that because it fits just fine across my whole sentiment. All right. And we're going to pop that on right here. Just like that. Let's grab our embellishments here. And so I know it's a little hard to see here. Let me do this so you can see the colors. All right. And I'm gonna stick with, you know, I'm going to do orange. Just because that's so predominant right there, I'm going to do orange. Shoot. That, and I don't use my orange as much. So I'll put one right here. I'll put a small one right here. And then I'll put another one up here. All right. Easy peasy. And I feel like I need something a little more, so I'm just looking for my baker's twine so I can tie a quick little bow. And I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here it is. All right. So I've got my white baker's twine. This is the Baker's Essential Pack. Oh, I forgot to add that to the supply list. I'll have to update the supply list right when we're done here. I'm going to just tie a quick little bow. On my original one, I tied a double bow, but I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm just going to tie a single because I want to stay under my half-hour time frame. So again, this particular stamp set is our featured stamp set for our February Studio Card Club. So if you're interested in that, I will have the link in the description, and you can just pop right over there. It will take you over to PayPal, and you can sign up for the recurring subscription. So I'm just going to take my little glue dot here. I'm going to roll it into a little log. I'm just going to put it right on my paper. And notice I haven't even stamped, other than my sentiment, I didn't stamp anything else like for a focal image. I felt like this was pretty enough. All right, so let's go ahead and I'll pull in card now, my original. And we'll go back to the second card. So original, upgraded version, original, upgraded version. And all I did to upgrade was I just used dimensionals and my embellishments. So I hope you liked the cards today. Go enjoy your lunch, and we will see you back here tomorrow evening at 6:44 Central Time for our virtual class. Also, it is going to be featuring the terrific Toadstools. It is a great one, let me tell you. Yep, I really love this stamp set, so I went out all week and made cards just to focus on this. So I hope you join me tomorrow night. See you all later.